Hey guys, my name's Emma and I'm here to talk about my experience at U of T. So, I'm pretty much coming to the end of my first year. Obviously, I'm back home because quarantine, so I had to move out of my dorm and everything. But, I wanted to talk about the truth about U of T or things I wish I knew before going to U of T because I think that could be very beneficial for other people, and I just noticed that when I was making my decision there wasn't a lot of videos about U of T, so figured why not. So the things I'm about to say are all my personal opinion, my friend's opinion. Like, I asked a couple of my friends for things that they wanted me to include in this, and overall we kind of all had the same couple of things, so I made a bit of a list. Yeah, hope you enjoy. So number one would be the biggest thing that I've always heard about U of T and everyone told me was how difficult it is and how competitive it is and how your grades go down, everything. Your grades will drop a bit from your high school, but that's also just university. Like, that's not specific to U of T only. If you do see a grade drop, the most drastic will be like in your first assignments, which makes sense. It's your first university like experience. But it's not that it's easy to get your grades back up, but it's a matter of just if you put the effort, it'll pay off, you know? And your profs are there to help you, your TAs are there to help you. There's writing centers for your essays. Like, it's not impossible. It's just a matter of you having to apply yourself, which is kind of the case at every university. It's not specific to just U of T. And going with that is the whole U of T is super competitive and people never share their notes and they'll give you the wrong notes on purpose if you miss class. Yeah, that might be the case for certain programs. About that more for engineering and stuff, which I'm not in, but one of my closest friends is an engineer and he's never talked about that. So I think that's, again, like, not specifically true. Like, it might just be my experience, my friends' experiences, but I don't specifically think that's true. On the contrary, everyone's pretty helpful if you miss class. Like, you usually can just text one of your friends, be like, hey, can you pass me the notes? Like, if your friend doesn't pass you the notes and you don't have, like, I don't know, someone else to ask, like, usually your profs will post something online. So it's not like, no, like, I've never experienced that super high intense competitiveness. Like, it's obviously a competitive school, but every university, like, again, every university is competitive. It's just the facts. Like, no university is gonna be easy. Like, again, going with that is the whole U of T gives you so much work and you never have time to do anything, blah blah. Again, yeah, it's a lot of work, but I mean, you can always take 4 courses in a semester if 5 is a lot. There's ways to balance it, and again, like, I know I said this a lot, but every university has a lot of work. It's not specific to just U of T. So with that, a lot of people say that U of T treats you like just another number. It's obviously going to be different than high school, because, you know, in high school there's like, what, 30 people for your class, like, your teachers know you, like, yeah. Whereas in this case, like, you'll have that more with your TAs, like, your TAs will get to know you kind of thing. Your profs won't really get to know you because there's, like, I have a class of 1,500 people. Like, there's no way the prof is gonna learn 1,500 names, like, no. But for resources and stuff like that, U of T has the college system, which, if you've applied or are looking into it, I'm sure you've already heard about, but I'll get into that a bit later. So U of T has the college system and all your resources are through your college or your faculty if you're not in art sci. So, like, if you're in Eng or Kin or music and architecture, then you don't have a college, so your resources through your faculty. But the next thing is that a lot of people say that profs and TAs, like, aren't very accommodating to your needs and all of that, or just that U of T in general is not very accommodating to your needs. Like, no. Personally, I don't have any, like, disabilities or anything like that, so I don't have a disability letter, but I know people that do, and they genuinely get extra help when they need it. Like, they can get extensions on assignments, they can get longer times to write their exams. Along that note, there's the whole like profs and TAs aren't accommodating to your specific need, like extensions and talking to them and extra help and all that, which I didn't find that to be true personally. Anytime I emailed a prof, emailed my TA, I always got back, like they always got back to me. Profs have their office hours, TAs have their office hours. They're just sitting there like at a desk waiting for someone to show up. Now for things that are a bit more social aspect of U of T, not so much like the academic thing. So I think the biggest thing you'll hear about U of T is there's no social life. It's so hard to make friends. Everyone's in their own bubble. Ugh. No. Like, I like to tell people that whoever said U of T isn't a party school went to a different U of T. I did live in res, like I'm from Vancouver, I moved to Toronto, everything. So I lived in res my first year. And yes, like it's definitely a fact that living in res makes it easier to make friends. But that's also a fact at every university. Like I have friends who went to UBC and they still lived in res so that they could make friends like easier during their first year. Like being a commuter, you have to make friends in class, which is not impossible. It's just a matter of you having to also like put yourself out there a bit. So yeah, coming with the whole friendship thing, Frosh Week. Every college, every faculty puts on a Frosh Week. And it is worth it. It might sound overrated, you might think it's weird, awkward, I don't know, but it is worth it. Everyone during their first week is just trying to make friends, trying to meet new people. Like that's where you make a lot of friendships. I don't want to say that it's the only place to make friends because it's obviously not, but it's just an easier way to make friends because everyone's in the same boat, everyone's trying to make friends, like. But aside from that, you obviously make friends like in class and tutorial especially, you make friends. If you live in res, like you will become friends with the people on your floor, like it's basically inevitable. So yeah, the whole U of T has no social life, it's super hard to make friends. It's definitely not true. Going along, the whole U of T does have a social life. There actually are parties. U of T does in fact have frats. And they put on parties every night of Frosh, and then they put on, or at least last year, they put on a party every Friday and Saturday up until Halloween, and then when we came back for second semester, every weekend in January. And in between that, there's other parties, but they're invite only. Aside from that, there's also a lot of like dorm parties and stuff, res parties. I even went to a house party, like there's parties. Like whoever said U of T doesn't have any parties went to a different U of T than I did. And I guess a side note for the party thing, my friend wanted me to add this, but there's significantly less drugs than he expected. Do with that information what you will. Okay, and the final thing would be to talk about the colleges. So basically, if you've been applying to U of T, if you've been accepted to U of T, if you're looking at U of T, anything to do with U of T, you probably know about the college system. This is specific to the St. George campus only, so the downtown one. And this is specific to art sci. So if you're going for engineering or kinesiology or architecture or music, this doesn't apply to you. But if you're going for literally everything else, then this applies to you. So basically, U of T has 7 colleges, and I like to describe them as your Hogwarts house, because if you live in res, it's where you live, eat, socialize, study, but it has nothing to do with your academics. Every college has courses in their buildings, but that doesn't mean that you have to be a part of that college to take that course. So for example, like I have a lot of courses at Victoria College, but I'm a part of University College. That's fine. Like it doesn't matter. Your college impacts your university life about as much as you make it. If you take a tour of U of T, they'll be very like adamant about the colleges and they'll talk about them a lot. But that's also because they make up a huge part of like the actual physical like buildings. I think they'll have the biggest influence on your social life, especially if you live in dorms, because you tend to live at the college that you're a part of. And like the colleges are put there to help you. They're done there because if there was only one writing center for all of the undergrads or everyone who's in art sci, that writing center would be full all the time. There'd be no space for anyone and it wouldn't be a help to anyone. Whereas by splitting it up, you know, if you need to talk to your registrar, go to the writing center, all of those resources are available to you through your college. And if they are like a U of T wide thing, then they just direct you there. But they do it so that they can help as many students as possible. Anyway, so those are all the things I wanted to say. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them down below. I don't know if this gets views and there's other videos you want me to make about U of T, let me know. Like, I'm a history student, so do with that information what you will. Like and subscribe, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, afternoon, night. Oh yeah, and one last thing. My friend wanted me to say that there's no attractive engineers, so do with that what you will. Thank you.